So this is the second video in how I take a topic. In the first video, I showed you how I take a topic and I brainstorm what I want my main points to be. And then throughout that process, I'll also come up with subpoints that are required or will help develop each of my main points. So that was our first video. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I research and begin developing my outline. So if you notice, when you start with brainstorming and you have a main point and you have subpoints, then you can really direct the research that you need. So for me, and like most of you, I do most of my research online and I search and try to find the information that I need. So that's what I've done already. I have done some research. I have found some sources that I think will be beneficial for me. Now, I may need more sources than I have found. I may need less information than I've found, but I think it's always good to start with a good amount. So it's better to have more than too little, and then you can just not use information that you don't need. So, how do I research and organize my information? So, what I do primarily is that I find the sources that I want to use and I copy and paste. And then if you notice, I have the website here. I have the date I accessed it. That's information that's going to be needed when I develop a works cited page. Some of these sources don't have as much information. They don't have an author. But if you notice, if you look at the bottom of my research page, this source, for example, it has when it was posted, it has who posted it, there's a title of the article, here's the website, here's when I accessed it. So all of this is the information that you're going to need for your works cited page. So as I gather my information and I copy and paste the sections that I feel like I might pull research from, I make sure that I have all the extra information. I have the title, I have the website, I have the date I accessed it, I have the author of who wrote it, if they have one. Not all will have one. But I do include all of that information on my research page that I begin to develop. If you also notice, I color code. So once I have information from one source, I color code that. I have each source a different color. The reason being, as I develop my outline, if there are things I want to cite directly or gather information from, if I color code that on my outline as I'm developing it, then I know what sources I need to cite specifically. I make sure that way I know what needs to be included in my works cited page. For instance, if I look at my outline and I have nothing from the yellow section, then I know that's not a source I ended up using and I don't have to cite that source. If it's from the pink section, then I know exactly where I got that information from and I can easily cite that source. So this helps me organize my information. It helps me make sure that I have everything that I need for my works cited page. And I also always include the website that's needed for your works cited page. So as long as you have all of this information in one spot, it's going to save you time as you begin to type your outline. So this is kind of how I begin to organize my research. And once I have this organized, it's going to take me to my next step, which is the third part of our video, which is to begin developing the outline. So that will be in part 3 of the video.